It's 4:30 a.m. I'm sweating. It's so hot in this room. Apologies. But this is an issue that's been going on for so long. And I think it's unsolvable. At least I'm trying to think of ways to get around this, and I can't. Now, the issue is Rocket League Ranked, the last 3, 4, 5 seasons is really just, it's different. It seems like something has happened where everyone just got put back and now no one can climb up again. And I think this is mainly an issue for smaller regions. And I'll get into that in a second. And I think it's really important to understand why this is more of an issue with smaller regions than it is for NA and EU. Now, do you guys remember there were a few seasons ago where Daniel got put in Platinum? Daniel, the pro player, was put in Platinum after his placement matches. And everyone kind of had a laugh about it. And Daniel went on to, you know, thrash Platinum, Diamond, Champ, Grand Champ players and climb all the way back to SSL. Naturally. But if you were to do that in OCE, or if you do that in APAC or something, the same would probably happen until about Grand Champ. And that's because this happens in lower regions. Not to Platinum, but all of our pro players, right? I'm an Oceania player, by the way. All of our pro players, at the end of every season, the start of a new season, they are put into Grand Champ 1, Grand Champ 2. And then they stay there. So here's the issue. The main issue is with smaller regions like OCE, like APAC, maybe MENA, but they mainly play in EU, so they have access to a wider population anyway. With the smaller regions, because you have a lower population at the highest rank, access to the higher ranks get harder and harder. And a lot of people, I know what you're thinking, because a lot of people say it. They're like, oh, well, GC in OCE is like Diamond in NA. And that's simply not the case, because access to the higher ranks is often populated with pro players and players that should be much higher rank, but they can't get to a higher rank because they're only going up against pro players. Now, if I want to reach SSL, if I want to reach GC2, actually, not even SSL, if I want to reach GC2, I have to play pro players multiple times. And every day I jump in this game, and every day I jump on, and every day there is a pro player or a blue tag or an ex-SSL player in GC1, in 14, 1300, just casually going through the game. And so for me to get to just GC2, where I casually sit there majority of the time, I have to beat pro players consistently. Now, if you imagine, right? You imagine you're in NA, you're in EU, and you say, okay, I'm a GC1 player, I want to reach GC2. And so you're 1550, the cap, the GC2 thing is 1575. You're almost there, and you keep running into pro players. Are you going to make it? Now, granted, the NA pro players statistically and historically have been better than OCE, APAC pro players. But still, these pro players are a level above everyone. Pro players in OCE are better than casual OCE players. It is natural. So if I want to become a GC2, GC3 player, I have to beat the best players in the region. That's OCE. That's me from experience, right? APAC players have to play on OCE. They don't have enough players in their region, and their servers are kind of rough, from what I've been told. So they're going to play OCE. So APAC players, to get to GC2, have to play on 100 ping and beat pro players. When you have low population in smaller regions, the casual player base, the people that play ranked, cannot grow, cannot progress through the ranks, because the highest ranks, the pro players, the top players in our region are sitting amongst GC1, GC2. Right now, I'm 1600 in threes, 1600 bang on. And someone came in and let me know, on the Rocket League tracker, that put me at rank 47 in OCE. 1600. GC, literally freshly GC2, puts me at top 50, rank 47 OCE. And that's just OCE. This is probably so much worse for APAC. I cannot figure out a way in which lower populated regions can actually progress through the ranks rather than kind of staying stagnant at a rank. If you're a good enough player to reach SSL, you'll reach SSL. If you're like a pro player, or if you're a consistent SSL player, if you're someone that wants to become an SSL player, you have to be on par with the pros. We don't have casual SSL players, you know? We don't have, I think OCE last season ended with 42 SSL players. And so when you take away all of our pro players, you probably got like 10, 20 SSL players. that aren't pros. So if I want to become an SSL player in OCE, I have to become a top 50 player in the region in 2v2. In threes, you can forget about it. No one even plays this game. I queue for 45 minutes. I don't find a threes game. It's 8 p.m. my time. It's 6 p.m. in Australia. No one is playing. I queue again later on, 10 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Australia. No one is playing. The people I run into, pro players or people on their alt accounts or just the people who are there to thrash because they are just so much better than their GC1 opponents. Now I'm GC2. So what does that mean? That means that every single game I find now will guarantee have a pro player in it. And if not, some smurf. It is what it is. This is how it is. When I say Rocket League has a region problem, Rocket League has a rank problem, two different things. Rocket League's ranks, I think for the last few seasons, have been completely wild. It just feels so much harder to play ranked these days, and I can't figure out why. But then you add on the fact that, oh, there's a blue tag on the other team. Oh, a 3-stack, and 2 of the players are the best players in the region. Oh, it's that pro player from GG, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, I will beat these pro players in ranked. I'm not saying that to be cocky. Like, it's not like I'm losing every single game. These games are insanely difficult, and I should not be, like, the game should not be as hard as it is at a GC1 level. If I'm literally freshly GC1, you know, we're a month and a half, 2 months into the season, I don't think I should be playing up against GC players that are actually just SSLs or pro players. And I think that comes down to the fact that with lower populated regions, pro players don't want to play ranked because it's not worth their time. Because in OCE, your queue time is going to be like, you are not going to find a game if you are 1800, 1900 SSL, you know? There are definitely players that are SSL and they'll just go up against the same players over and over again because that's the nature of it. But it's kind of not worth their time. So they either scrim, they play 6-mans, they jump on alt accounts, they just don't play ranked. And when they do, apparently it's against me. This whole video might just sound like I'm complaining. It is. I'm not going to hide that. It's just me kind of complaining a little bit. But I can't help but think that this is just like, it is just so much worse for APAC players because they have to queue our region and probably other regions as well. But like, from my experience, it's just wild that like 2 months after a season's come out, you still run into pro players at GC1, GC2. So the last few seasons ranks been scuffed. How do we fix this? I don't know. I've been putting this video off for about 3 weeks trying to figure out a way around it. And ways I've researched, League of Legends has a Chinese super server. So the best players in the region go into a completely separate server. That way they have a separate server, set aside for them. That way they only play against the best players in the region, the super server. They're getting the most practice, they're getting the most they can out of the game, and they're not randomly running into, you know, some master players, some blah, 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 whatever the ranks are. They're not running to lower ranked players. They just happen to be queuing into them because the queue time is taking too long. You either need to run some incentive for ranked so that people actually play ranked and actually compete, like a you know, regional leaderboards, so that maybe people care enough instead of just a worldwide leaderboard. But like, what pains me is I just don't think there's a fix. I just think lower populated regions are doomed. And our pro players can't progress and move as fast and develop as fast as NA and EU pro players because they are getting limited. They have limited players to work against and to improve against. Whereas EU NA, you can, it was probably like 1,000, a few thousand SSLs. So a pro player can queue into ranked, play against a different player every single game. Whereas and they will improve, you know, exponentially because they're constantly being challenged by new play styles, by new ways to play, by new different mechanical plays, different ways of playing the game, understanding of the game. Whereas a smaller region will only have a limited player pool to work with, and because of that, they don't have the access to the depth that NA and EU has, and so we, as a smaller region, are just kind of, our progress is stunted. The one thing I've thought of, and I thought about this, and I've talked to a bunch of people about this, I don't even know if I'm allowed to do it, if it's legal. Surely it's fine. What if we took all of the pro players, right? All the best players in our region, in OCE, in all of APAC, and we send them to US West. They queue US West. It's only about 140, 160 ping. This is actually a decent idea if you want to get MMR anyway, if you're OCE. We get them all to queue West, different days each, they're not playing each other, and they take out the GC1 players in US West, because they're pro players here, they should be able to, you know, beat GC1s over there. They take them out, they yoink a bunch of MMR, like 200 each, 300 each. They bring it back here, and then they distribute it. That way, they're all our pro players are up 200, 300 MMR, they're 1900. They can then consistently play against each other, and we don't have to deal with them in our GC1 games. That way, us, GC1, Champ 3, the Champ 3s can climb to GC1 where they want to be. GC1 can go back to GC2. GC2 hits GC3. GC3 will never hit SSL because they got to beat the other pro players, but good luck to them if they make it. I think we yoink the MMR from US West and we just bring it back. I think that is our way forward. I remembered this is the way. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for yourself, please do let me know in the comments. I would love to hear them. There's nothing I can really do about it, but I just love to hear them. But yeah, this has just been on my mind for like a year. And I've had a bunch of people be like, hey, you should make a video on this. Like, I feel like no one really knows about the OCE, APAC, like small region side of things. I was like, you know what? So true. It's like, I think for OCE YouTubers, there's me and a Vample. And so no one's really, I don't even think there are any APAC YouTubers, at least that I know of. So it's like, there's just no one really talking about it. So I thought I would. Anyway, any ideas, let me know. If not, all good. Hope you enjoyed the video. Just a bit of a rant. Like, you know, the insides of small region issues. First world problems, I know. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.